Good morning guys, James here, welcome to Southampton Boat Show. This morning we're going to continue looking around some of the boats here on display, and behind you I have the Ocean 90. Largest yacht we've got on display here on the stand. You have to excuse the weather, unfortunately it's closing in I think for the last day here at the show, but nevertheless we've done a few of these before and I thought this morning why not see another one. So here she is. Let's have a quick wander down the outside. You see obviously part of the Ocean range. Been out in the Sunseeker style now for a few years, and that basically means we've got the beam running a lot further forward here. They're over 7 meters in the width, and this very upright stem here, so that basically means we've got extra volume in the hull down here. But the difference over the Ocean 182, we did a tour recently which had the enclosed bridge up top. With this one you can see we've got the conventional open plan Flybridge. Still a very aggressive racy looking boat. You can see obviously black painted top to lower the profile, and these large glass windows running down the side to give a sleek look. We come round on the back here, you can see that full beam bathing platform. In fact there's a few stats on here, let's just show you on the board. A little bit of information about her there. Option either with the 1900 or 2000 horsepower engines. This particular one's actually got the 1900s in. They get on to about 26 knots, but cruising generally around 11, 12 knots at the sort of fast displacement speed is where they are most at home. So on the back here, this section, as you can see here, is the hydraulic up and down bathing platform. A couple of chocks on here. We put a Williams 460 tender on the back, and then there is space forward here. A couple of sliding roller chocks there for the option then to put a 3-seater jet ski, and then we have the extend system in the back here. Lots of videos on the channel already about how that works, but lifts up. We've got some storage lockers in the back for fenders and bits and pieces, and then the C-bobs like you see here fit in the deck lockers beneath us here. Obviously full beam, we've got lots and lots of sort of party space connecting with the water really nicely. With this opened up, you've got the big seat here, and then you can have a couple of sockets in the deck here for parasols if you want to turn it into more of a beach club feel. Up the top, that is a retracting sun awning, and then hidden in that section there is actually a privacy screen that drops down vertically to give you privacy then in the aft cockpit when you're in dock. Obviously got things like all of the working deck gear back here. You can see the mouldings on the back which sort of blend the shape of the boat all the way from bow to stern. Very pretty yacht inside profile. Teak decks throughout on this one. You can see the upgrade on the side decks and up top, as well as what's standard here in the cockpit and down on the bathing platform. Really sets the boat off nicely indeed. Here up on the starboard side as we come up, you've got the third station throttle and thruster controls, as well as the 2 helms. And just spinning around here on the aft deck, you can see this particular one configured with the freestanding furniture. So of course we can change this. We can do some fixed dining table, perhaps with an up and down top, opening leaves and what have you. But with the connecting into this extend system, these doors open up 90 degrees, the seat comes up, and then it sort of all flows very nicely together. Of course, each owner slightly different in how they want to use that space, and as such, very much down to an owner's choice. Over here on the port side, we have the sink. There is an option for a griddle here, although this particular one's got it up top, and there is actually on the back end there a flip-up griddle as well. Right, side door access, quite handy in some parts of the world where access onto a quayside, perhaps off the stern, isn't possible. This one actually has the sea stairs, so that means the passerelle comes out down into the water to give you effectively a very nice, easy access bathing ladder style steps up, or then it comes up onto the quayside behind. Obviously most of these boats kept is somewhere warm and sunny, and as such the stern to mooring is a little bit common to see. Right, we can see the doors now stacked back here on the starboard side and how this opens the boat up. So this is a particularly different one to the one we did in Cannes, as we have a fully enclosed galley forward. We've got a bigger saloon informal lounging area, and then the dining table is off to that side rather than sitting thwartships forward there. Again, very much down to an owner's choice. This one was built as a stock boat, and as such just to give some alternative styles, and of course we could change that to suit if required. You can see the inlaid carpet here, and then the optional wood floor that takes us through here to blend all of these areas together. You'll see there's no threshold on the door here flat floor pretty much all the way through there into the galley section as well. Big AV system, so we've got 65-inch TV up there. I had a couple of comments on the 182 the other day. Oh, the TV doesn't spin. We can put a tilting bracket on there, but honestly, just gonna sit down here. You're in my eye line here, and it's absolutely perfect. There honestly isn't a need to do that at all, but it's an easy fix for somebody if required. You'll notice obviously the glass, and that really for me is what sells something like this. With those cutaway bulwarks, how much natural light comes into the boat. So fixed panes here on the starboard side. There are options for doors and things, but obviously not required. This particular boat with the upgrade to tropical spec chilled water aircon, really if it's in a hot climate with the doors shut, you'd be taking full advantage of that, or perhaps in the evenings when it cools off, open the boat up. You've got a sliding patio door arrangement here, as well as a crude access door in the galley, so you can get a bit of flow through the boat. Lots and lots of upgrades to furniture, carpets. This quartz tabletop in here is beautiful. Some inlaid, you can see some opti grey mirrored panels in some of these sections here. This being, as we said at the beginning, the enclosed galley, we've got some feature panels. That was an upgrade, custom built sideboard to suit with this lovely sort of stainless steel inlaid detail, and you can see things like the usual glassware and what have you. This extended lounge space is really useful. You've got 8 beds downstairs, so plenty of entertaining space. We could do a return on that. You'd have some freestanding furniture, really down to an owner's preference. And then this particular one, we've got the curtains up top there. You could do roller blackout blinds if you required. It really depends where it's going in terms of heat generation through the day. Right, so we come forward. Here is the day head. So this is an option over the standard cloakroom. So we've got a loo and sink in there. We've got this raised observation seating area, which is a nice place as a snug. Just come up here, you can see in my eye line, so we can see out through the windscreen. It's nice as a sort of crew mess, informal space to interact with the captain. You're far enough away from the guests back there that if you have got crew on board, maybe during the day, captain's got to do planning for itineraries on charter and stuff. It's a nice place for the crew to hang out as well as perhaps underway, the guests to come and sit with the captain. Now you can see over the open planned galley now how this works as the alternative layout with the fully enclosed setup. So we now have a splashback on here, and of course we gain up top here some extra cupboards. So it won't work for everybody. Some people like this open. We have some sliding doors as an option, so you can have more of a like walk-up bar arrangement. But I think as a crewed boat, it is built to take 4 crew, perhaps with a full-time chef. This is a great option. It's got everything you'd expect in here, obviously with dishwashers and electric cooking facilities. We've got an upgrade on this one from 27 kilowatt to 32 kilowatt twin generators. And that crew door we just mentioned out there at the end of the galley, as well as another one here for the captain for accessing the side deck. So this is the main bridge, lower deck. Sit up here in the captain's chair. Again, you're right in my eye line now. Proper little ship feel down here. So we've got 24-inch navigation display upgrade here, part of the Simrad premium kit. CMC electric AC powered stabilizer system on the fins, part of the AV system. Little iPad mini to go in here. This is our CM8 monitoring panel for Sunseeker's onboard switchgear, autopilot, and then over this side we have the hydraulic thrusters, autopilot, little jog dial control for the screens here as well, and then the throttles and what have you. Everything nice to hand as a captain, as well as that outside position we'll see in just a sec. So down the stairs, we have split accommodation on these, so 2 different stairwell accesses to take us down below deck. You can see the beautiful detailing in the doors here. This is a silver oak satin wood finish, and we're now into right down in the bowels of the bow of the boat. And you can see how that extended volume we saw right at the beginning of the tour really gives this sort of a second owner's stateroom forward. It's very, very upright. It's the anchor locker in front of us there, but you get this beautiful big centralised bed. Very, very quiet up here as well, because we can put some insulation in the outboard hull area here. And then we have a little vanity station, lots of wardrobes and cupboards throughout. Over this side, so this is obviously a very, very nicely appointed bathroom with all the usual bits and pieces. I love the stone finish in this one, very, very nice with the two-tone on the floor and the wall there, and 55-inch TV up here, so huge setup, big AV system, obviously with a router system for connectivity back to shore. And then over here, off the port side, we have the access down to the other cabins on the boat. It's a nice curved staircase. You can see LED lighting everywhere. You have to excuse if we've got a frame rate flashing on the camera. I can see a little bit of that. So I have this corridor that runs thwartships to the boat. Can put some more laundry in here or storage for bedding and what have you, as the main laundry facilities themselves are actually back in the crew space. Different configurations on the beds here just to give some versatility, as often a lot of these go into charter. This is a sliding bed. You can see the tracks in the floor. They can split to give you 2 singles, or as it's built here currently, configured with the double. And then you have much the same as we saw in that forward cabin, the two-tone on the stone. Again, big TVs and what have you. Lovely detailing in the wall here. Mirror image pretty much in this one. So again, we've got the sliding beds. You can see that lovely view out of the window. And then pretty much the same in the bathroom there. And then we come forward into the master suite. Spin round slowly. You get a flavour of how big. So 7.16 metre beam on these. They're absolutely vast. Come around this side of the cabin. You can see just how that works. So this is an option with the 2 seats and the table. And again, these beautiful picture frame. We've got LED detailing around there. And despite the grey day here in Southampton, there we go, looking out towards the docks, you'll often see that's where some of our boats load from, off overseas. It's a very, very nice space indeed. So centre mounted bed here, huge TV hidden there behind the mirrored panel. And then we've got all the things you'd expect to see, almost like a semi walk-in wardrobe set up here in the corner for storage. And then little vanity station this side. And then a master bathroom itself with the 2 kind of his and hers basins there. Decor very uniform throughout. Right, back up top, let's go and see the Flybridge. It shows just open, so we might find a few people around in a minute. Let's go have a look out on the outer decks as well. So say as of, here we are, latter part of September, this is actually available. In discussion with several clients, but as it stands at the moment, very much one of the few opportunities to get on the water for the 2026 season. So it's a great boat. Just to give you the feeling of how that glass works out here, it's absolutely vast. And these rails, you can see they're right up above my waist height, so very, very sure-footed when you walk round. Proper little ship. Look at the size of that bulwark there. Come forward. So these were the 2 internal deck access doors we spoke about. Covers on today, unfortunately, due to the rain, but you can see some of the other tours we showed. There's this big sunbed in the middle, lift up backrest, nice little table set up here. And then you've got private seating here, and then on this outside, almost like semi-Portuguese bow style extended seating. We've got the little pop-up deck lights, always think they're quite cute. And then the twin Lumar V8 winches there for all the working deck gear. You can see that very upright snub nose here and how that brings the volume right forward. Just stand here, look at the beam on that one. This is a fixed glass panel there, so that gives you a lot of natural light into that bridge inside. And with that tropical spec aircon, so no matter where it goes in the world, more than capable of keeping things cool inside. These are sockets here for carbon fibre poles that come up, and then you've got this lovely sail canopy set up there. And if we head on back, let's go up to the Flybridge and see how this one is laid out. So no internal staircase like we saw on the 182. This is an access from the aft cockpit, and it brings up straight into the up top wet bar setup. So this is obviously being a crude boat. Typically you've got nice easy access for crew for provisioning, or captain down the stairs for docking. We've got the optional stools, as you can see here, lovely detailing in the bar. There's some LED lighting on the front of that as well, and the little glass shelf on top. Griddle and ice makers and all the bits you'd expect to see there in the wet bar itself. And then here on the upper helm, you can see Simrad upgrade again with the large screens, the multi-function steering wheel that you see on a lot of the Sunseekers today. Just means you don't have to get up and touch the screens, it's all on the wheels, very cool. And then you can see, if I just imagine driving this now, all the way there from the bow back, pretty good idea. And Med, where you're stern to docking, you have a boat alongside, so generally you don't need to be able to see the aft ends, put camera systems on, but crew generally on their mics, more than happy to talk each other in terms of distances around you. So this is a nice fixed sunbed. We've got a bit of storage in here. You can do a little freestanding table in here if required. Really depends how an owner thinks they want to use it. See the full extent of the width up there forward. And then above us, the black painted hardtop. So we've seen on things like the 88 Yacht, which is the one just over here, they have the flip up blade system on the roof as an option. We can do that on here, but a lot of these have this soft opening centre roof section to obviously get that right back. And on a nice day, if you want the sun in, you transform the boat into a very much convertible feel. Over on here, I think this is a great option. I do this on a lot of boats these days. We have the ability to close up the tabletops. Obviously, I'm not going to fold all the arms away at the moment, but you can turn them into more of a coffee style table. Easy access then to walk through. Perhaps you've only got a few guests up in the morning for breakfast, others are still chilling out downstairs, or perhaps having a lazy morning start. It's a great way to give some versatility up here. But then when you want to do some formal dining, you can then put some director's chairs here, and you've got masses of social space. They get the whole family together in one area. It's a wonderful solution. And I would then go a stage further. It's expensive, but I love the idea of electric rise and fall table legs up here, as it just gives another way to give you versatility depending on who you've got on the boat at the time. So I'm just walking backwards here to the aft end of the Flybridge, just to give you a feel, this vast beam. So we take that lower deck beam almost full width up top here. We had those overhang cheeks on the back end here. Sun awning on the back here, and then up top, most of the kit has also been painted black. We've left the radar scanner white, just obviously that saves on the old warranty. And then you've got this nice detailing, things like the teak capping and the glass panels rather than the stainless steel across the back. This is very much blank canvas. Do what you like up here. So some freestanding teak sun lounges. I can do a centre mount spa bath with a sunbed like you'd see on a 116 yacht. It's very, very much down to an owner's preference. This seating is all modular, so we've got the option for freestanding furniture. It really is down to how you think you would use the boat, and we'd create something to suit. As a stock boat, we tend to leave it quite open, as you see now, because it's so easier for us to stick everything on the deck afterwards. Look at the carbon fibre detailing on things like this hatch here. It's very, very nicely done. Right, here around the corner, let's finish off. Let's have a look downstairs. So side access crew door, and this takes us then right down into the bowels of the boat, and then running thwartships. Got all the kit here as we come down, so optional chart plotter. We've got a second CM8 display there. It's quite a nice feature on the options list. So we have the crew mess, obviously the laundry we spoke about earlier, a little prep station here with all the upgrade on the AV and stuff, 2 crew cabins here, so captain's still sharing with the other crew on a boat of this sort of size, 4 beds. So sort of captain, hostess, chef, deckhand is a typical setup. They've got a little bathroom down here as well. Sorry about the flashing on the camera, I can't do much about that today. But that's a pretty standardised setup. It is still under 24 metre load line, so if you wanted to run this as an owner-operator, very much still in the realms of that as a possibility. You have to excuse there's loads of stuff in here as the boys are getting ready to take her back to pool end of the day. So I have to dodge around the boxes. You can see generators tucked down here. We've got the shore power Atlas line voltage machine down there. Why not? Let's go around and you can have a look at what we've got down the back here. So There's your water strainers, so main raw water engine intakes. You've got for the generators here. That one in the middle is for the aircon system, access to all the steering gear, what have you, and there's some hydraulic packs and things down there. This is what we call Glendenning, so this is like an electric extension lead in and out from the back of the boat, rather than having to pull everything out manually. V12 engines here, so they are they're on what we call a V drive, so that means the gearbox is in front of the engine. That means we can get everything really nice and compact here. There's a fuel polishing system, the wasp system down there. You can see the shore power, this is the stabilizer system control, and over the other side that's the handling plant for the aircon, and then you can see the big breaker boxes behind us here for all the electrical distribution, the sort of common stuff that you'd need to pop down perhaps and attend to from time to time. And there is actually a ladder and a hatch there above us which takes us up to the crew cockpit, I suppose, access if you're at sea and perhaps it's too rough to get onto the side deck for some reason. And that is pretty much everything on the boat. Now this particular one, so we're about £7.9 million ex-tax loaded up with everything. There isn't really much other than a name, tender and toys, and a bit more light provisioning really, and she's a pretty true on the water opportunity, so that's a pretty fair reflection for me of what you'd need for one of these to spec her up and get her sailing for next season. So if you'd like to know more, I say she is available as it stands at the moment. It's james@sunseekersouthampton.com, or the mobile's +44 7747 686 587. Nice to show you around today. Still a little bit more to see here at the show, but for now let's leave it there. See you soon.